Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is foot. F-O-O-T.
Really?
You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only... Groucho!
Nice fella, knew him well. Oh, that's me. Well, here I am again with $4,000 for one of our couples.
Groucho, we asked for young single people to volunteer tonight. And
I do that frequently.
Do you? Well, just before we went on the air... Just before we went on the air, Miss...
It's most unproductive, I must say. Hopeless is the word.
Miss Francine Anderson and Mr...
Miss Francine Anderson is hopeless?
No, she volunteered, and she was chosen along with Lieutenant Charles Brown, and here they are. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome. Welcome, kids, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Francis Anderson and Charles Brown, huh? Well, that's a good, simple. What kind of a uniform is that?
United States Air Force.
Is that so? I thought you were a letter carrier. Huh? How do I know you're in the Air Force?
Well, you can tell by the wings.
Likely story. How do I know you're not delivering airmail? Where are you from, Chaz?
Well, from the original gateway to the west in Southern California, Fort Smith, Arkansas.
He's going to wind up in the real estate business, I guess. Now, should I call you Francine or Fran?
Well, I prefer Fran.
So do I. With men who know women best, it's Fran, 2-1. Be lucky, go happy, huh? Where are you from, Fran?
Well, I was born in Santa Monica, California.
Where?
Santa Monica. I'm a native
Santa
girl.
Monica.
Yeah.
Oh, native girl, huh? Is that a native outfit you're wearing? Well, how old are you, Fran?
I'm 21.
21,
Mm-hmm.
eh? You don't look it. I thought you were about 20 and a half.
Oh.
You say you're in the Air Force, Charlie?
That's right.
What kind of a plane do you fly?
B-29.
Well, tell us about the B-29. How big actually is this monster?
Well, it's not the biggest by any means, but it's pretty good size. If you stood it up on a wingtip, it'd be about as tall as a 10-story building.
Sounds pretty cozy, doesn't it? Could you take Fran up for a little spin?
No, I'm afraid the Air Force might disapprove of that.
You mean the Air Force wouldn't approve of Francine? That's not the red-blooded American Air Force I used to know. How far can you go in this crate?
Well, we could go about 6,500 miles without stopping. For instance, we could go from here to Hawaii and return without landing.
Well, what's the sense of going? The old Air Force would have landed at Hawaii. Don't you get tired steering that jalopy for so many miles?
Well, no. After we once get off the ground and get up in the air, we let George fly it.
George? Who's George? Any relation to Fenneman?
No. George isn't human. George is the automatic pilot.
That's Fenneman, all right, eh? Have you had any interesting experiences in this crate?
No, nothing in the B-29. There was a thing back a couple of years ago pertaining to the uniform. We were having a social function in the hotel lobby, and while standing in the lobby waiting for my date, an elderly lady walked up and handed me a stack of letters and says, "Boy, would you mind mailing these for me?"
Well, I did better than that. I thought you were a letter carrier. I just thought you were a bellhop. Did she tip you?
Not at all.
Well, tell us that. That's a kind of an incomplete story. Did the girls ever show up?
Absolutely.
And did you have a lot of fun?
Yes, we did.
Apparently you didn't stay in the lobby all evening, huh?
No, we didn't.
That's the Air Force that I know. What do you... Look how she's looking at you. Boy, is she casing you. She knows every detail about you by this time. Where do you work, Fran?
I work in West Los Angeles, at a physical services gymnasium there.
You work in a gymnasium?
Mm-hmm.
You supervise exercises?
That's right.
What else?
Well, like bodybuilding.
Could you build me one, you think?
Well, we could try.
Instead of this travesty I'm walking around in, huh? Do you have separate gyms for the men and the women?
No, we have the same gym.
Now you're talking, huh? What about signing me up? Can you give me some assurance I won't be annoyed by the women customers?
Well, I think you could be fairly safe. They're there on different days.
Apparently she's accustomed to handling dumbbells. Does your reducing emporium have a slogan like, be patriotic, don't waste fat?
Not quite like that. We do have one. If you don't have it, we can give it to you.
The fact of the matter is I already have it and I don't want it. Now, you're still single, eh, Fran?
Yes,
Well, how come? Aren't you interested in marriage?
Yes, I am.
Maybe you haven't been looking in the right places.
Well, good
You're
man.
not going to find a good man in the woman's steam room, you know. I ought to know. How about Charlie, my boy here? Does he look like a good man? Does he look like a likely candidate?
Not bad at all.
Charlie, are you very hard to find?
I'm always available, always.
This is no lobby gal, this boy. Well, Charlie, do me a favor and get lost, will you? Fran and I will go looking for you after the show. When you fly over Mulholland Drive, dip your wings and we'll know it's you.
Right.
Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $4,000 question. Right now, I want you to pay close attention to this.
You know, friends, there are lots of things about the new 160 horsepower DeSoto Fire Dome 8 you just can't appreciate fully until you get behind the wheel of this great new car. Until you actually drive it out on the highway or over rough roads. Until you park it. The thing to do is to go into your DeSoto Plymouth dealers tomorrow and treat yourself to the ride of your life. You'll be amazed when you feel the smooth power and instant acceleration of the 160 horsepower DeSoto Fire Dome V8 engine. You'll be thrilled when you experience DeSoto's full power steering. That's right, not partial, but full power steering that lets you turn the wheels of the new DeSoto with one finger, even when the car is at a standstill. You'll find out for yourself that full power steering on the new DeSoto means easier, safer driving, not just some of the time, but all of the time. So take a few minutes tomorrow to stop in at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Get behind the wheel of the world's most talked about new car, the spectacular new 160 horsepower DeSoto Fire Dome 8. Also see and drive the DeSoto PowerMaster 6, available in custom and deluxe models. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth, the low-priced car most like high-priced cars. So no matter what price range you have in mind, you'll find the car you want at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Now, let's see how you work together as a team. George, explain the rules.
You bet as much of your $20 as you want on each of 4 questions, and the couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $4,000 DeSoto Plymouth question later in the show.
He has a real manly voice, Fenneman, isn't he? Certainly astonishes me all the time. Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected popular songs as your category. Now, here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you bet?
Let me see.
19.
19. Give me the title of this song. Play, Jerry. Anytime is right.
And you're off to a great start. You have $39.
Yeah, Force doesn't fool around. Remember, you're going for $4,000 tonight. How much of the $39 you're going to try this time?
38.
38. What's the name of this song? Play it.
Slowpoke.
Slowpoke is right.
You now have $77.
You now have $77. Let's see if you can identify this song. How much you going to bet?
76.
76. Okay. Play it, Jerry.
Please, Mr.
Please, Mr.
Please,
Sun.
Mr. Sun is correct.
Now find the $153.
How much you going to bet?
Shoot to work.
Is this last one?
This is the coup de grace.
Haven't got anything to lose. Shoot.
153.
153. Play it, Jerry.
Tell me why.
Tell me why is right. Give him a big kick.
And you also wind up with $306.
Good.
Well, thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Thank you.
We,
They're a real cute couple, weren't
They certainly were. Wonderful. We have a housewife and a salesman for you now, Groucho. They were chosen just before we went on the air, and here they are. Mrs. Pearl Woosley and Mr. Merrill Rawlings. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Mrs. Pearl Woosley, Mr. Merle Rawlings, and you're a salesman. Where are you from, Merle?
Newcastle, Indiana, originally, Mr. Marks.
Somebody out there from Muncie. Mrs. Woosley, you stop that snickering over here, will you? Pearl Woosley. Pearl, where are you from? St. Pearl, Minnesota?
I'm from Shelbyville, Tennessee. Way
Well,
down south in Dixie.
Where you all from? Where you say?
Shelbyville, Tennessee. Way down south in Dixie.
Well, sure enough. What kind of a place is Shelbyville?
Well, when I was born, there was about 6,000 people. A very wealthy country town.
Mm-hmm. Do you enjoy living in this metropolis?
I certainly did.
Here, I mean.
Oh, yes, I like Hollywood.
Oh.
Period. And especially Mr. Groucho Marx.
I see. Well, thank you, Pearl. That's pearl before swine or something. Now, I realize the dangers of asking a salesman what he sells, but could you tell us, Merle, what racket you're in? What is your profession?
I
what
sell
business?
Guardian Service, Mr. Marks.
What is this?
Guardian Service.
Guardian Service?
America's finest cooking equipment.
Oh. You mean you sell pots and pans?
No, that's quite a bit of difference there, Mr. Marks. You see, Guardian Service is not just ordinary pots and pans. It's a method.
They have
of
bottoms in, I suppose, huh?
double bottoms, sir.
Double bottoms.
That's
huh?
right.
Well, how do you peddle this? Do you go around knocking on doors?
No, sir, we don't. We make calls by appointment only.
Well, how do you do this? Could you tell us something about
Yes,
it?
sir. We make an appointment in the home for the hostess, and she invites over 14, 15 people.
What do you mean you make an appointment? You just call up anybody, you get down the phone book? How
Well,
do
in
you
many
do this?
cases we have leads from previous programs. We call them Guardian Health programs.
That's certainly a pretty fancy moniker for that. What do you serve at these clam bakes, aside from bicarbonate of soda?
We always serve a very well-balanced meal, roast beef dinner.
Now, Pearl, how does this sound to you? Do you like roast beef dinners?
I like it, delighted.
You
Yeah,
like it, huh?
Like it. But I like the southern cooking better. Fried chicken and chicken dumplings, hog joe and term salad, and black-eyed peas on New Year's Day. Good luck.
Good luck to you, too, Pearl.
Corn pone,
And
too.
a round of barbiturates for everybody. Well, it's been interesting talking to you two, and Merle, if you ever need a topic of conversation for your parties, just mention the new DeSoto Fire Dome 8. It's really something to talk about.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, here we go. You're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, you'll get a chance at the $4,000 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
The Air Force pilot and his partner won $306, and the secret word is foot.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. All the words in each question pertain to the same subject. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
15.
Talk right in here.
All right, $15.
$15. All right. What are Wyandottes, Orpingtons, and Plymouth Rocks?
Chickens.
Chickens is right.
Off to a good start. You have $35.
Remember, you're going for $4,000 tonight. Now, how much of the $35 will you bet this time?
25.
Okay.
How much?
25.
25. Okay. What are acacias, poincianas, and mangroves?
Jeez.
Trees.
Trees is right.
You now have $60.
You have $60, and how much you going to bet this time?
55.
55.
55. Okay. What are Manx, Siamese, and Maltese?
Twins. Cats.
Cats is right.
You've now climbed to $115.
It's your last chance to beat the other couples.
Oh,
How much of
wait
the
a minute.
115 you going to go for?
Would you say 100? What do you think?
I didn't hear, Bob.
The whole thing of what? What do you say?
Up to you.
We might win. What do we have, 150?
You got
115.
You got 115.
115. Well, let's say 114.
You want to get back to
Is that
those?
all right?
114, okay. All right, here we go.
Let's see.
What are azaleas, peonies, and
Oh,
crocuses?
flowers.
Flowers is right. Very smart. Good
And you
answer,
wind
huh?
up with a grand total of $229.
Thanks and good luck for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Thank you kindly.
Thank you kindly.
We invited some caddies to the program tonight, and just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Anthony Nobb. His partner is a woman with an interesting and unusual occupation, Mrs. Mildred Alexander, and here they are. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Hi, Mr. Marks.
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Mrs. Mildred Alexander and Anthony Nobb, huh?
That's right, sir.
You're a caddy?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. You look a little old for a caddy. How old are you, Anthony?
40, Mr. Marks.
Really? Junior is 2 years older than I am. Where you from, Anthony?
Hell's Kitchen.
We don't approve of that kind of language on this show, Anthony. Hell's Kitchen? You mean you come from 10th Avenue, New York?
That's right, sir.
Now, what is your birthplace, Mrs. Alexander?
I was born just outside of Boston.
Oh, what's the matter? Were you banned in Boston?
I was born in Newton.
You were born in Newton? That's a lovely little town. Do you miss it very much?
Not particularly.
I see. In other words, you don't give a fig for Newton, eh? Mildred, you were chosen because you have an interesting occupation. Just what is it you do, Mildred?
I run a motel for cats.
Well, that's what I thought. When you walked up here, I said to myself, I says, there's a woman who runs a motel for cats. Now, Mildred, let's not be ridiculous. Nobody runs a motel for cats. Guess what is a motel for cats?
It's a very
I'm willing
nice...
to play along with this thing as well as you.
The
I'll play
motel-
ball with you, Mildred, huh?
The Motel for Cats is a very nice place on Ventura Boulevard where people leave their cats when they go out of town.
What do you call the place, Catalina?
Motel for Cats.
Oh. How much is really a hotel for cats? Huh?
A motel for
A
cats.
motel. Yeah. Is there much difference between a motel for cats and a hotel for cats?
Yes.
I used to know Sam Katz. He lived at a hotel. How much does a cat have to pay for his lodging?
Well, it depends on whether he's on the American plan or the European plan.
Well, let's say he's a Siamese cat. Would you mind explaining the difference between...
Well, if he's on the American plan, he has the regular food, everyday fare of the Motel for Cats. If he's on the European plan, he can have half and half, lobster, shrimps, filet mignon, whatever he wants.
Where do these felines eat? Under the stove or...
No, we have room service, and their food is served in the bungalow on their own dishes.
Imagine the cat picking up the phone in the morning in bed and hollering for room service. How does this sound to you, Andy? Does this sound pretty interesting to you?
I'm bewildered.
You're bewildered, eh?
I certainly am, Mr. Marks.
Well, if you should need a nice motel to sleep in sometime, just tell Millie you're a caddy. Yeah, Tom Caddy. Where do you say you're a caddy?
Lakeside Country Club.
Oh,
sir.
Lakes. Oh, that's a pretty exclusive club, isn't it?
It certainly is, Mr. Marks.
You have a lot of very distinguished members out there.
We
don't
certainly
you?
have.
Could you name a few of your
Well,
members?
we have Bob Hope, Bing Crosby, Dennis Morgan, Gordon McRae,
Well, do you get a thrill caddying for these big shots?
sometimes.
What do you mean sometimes?
Depends on the tips.
I'll give you a big tip. Don't have a caddy for me if you want a big tip. What are the qualifications for a good caddy aside from flat feet?
Well, you have to know the local knowledge. Or
You mean the topography of the
That's right, sir.
links?
And
I had them with
the
X
breaks in the
before.
green.
Huh?
The breaks in the green.
You have brakes on the green?
Yes, sir.
They're not as good as the DeSoto brakes, I bet. What do you like best about caddying?
Big tips.
This fellow's got a one-track mind.
Well, let's face
You
it.
know, years ago, Jesse Lasky was playing at Hillcrest. And adjoining Hillcrest is Rancho. You know, the two clubs are right close together there. And Lasky was a notoriously wild golfer, and he hit one shot over on the Rancho, which is right across the road. So he said to the caddy, he says, "What club do I use?" And the caddy says, "You tell me what club you're playing, I'll tell you what club to use." Now, women play out there, too, don't they? Which do you prefer caddying for, men or women?
Oh, man.
Why is that?
Well, women, they talk a little too much. And they stop on a turn in the powder room, and they might not come out for another 15 minutes. And the main thing is, men are better tippers.
Well, let's get it off your mind. Here's a dime, man. Now, Mildred, would you board my cat? It happens to come from Poland.
I'd like to.
It's a fine, exclusive hotel. She'll even take a polecat. But he's good for the money. He'll pay you a cent at a time. Now, tell me, Millie, when a cat checks in, what kind of luggage does he carry? I presume you wouldn't let him in without luggage.
No. He brings his own bedding and his dishes.
He brings his own dishes and
Yes,
bedding,
his
huh?
toys, his catnip, sometimes his Christmas tree at Christmas time.
Say, could I get a room there sometime? Well, it's been a novel experience talking to you two. And Mildred, when you tuck your guests away for the night, don't forget the cat's pajamas. All right, let's play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $4,000. You run your $20 into more than our other couples. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but Mr. Fenneman's going to remind our listeners.
The Air Force pilot and his partner still lead with $306.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected outstanding American athletes. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
19.
Talk up, kids.
$19.
$19. In what sport is Maureen Connolly famous?
I think it's in tennis.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's absolutely right.
You're on your way. You have $39.
Remember, you're going for $4,000 tonight. How much is the 39 you're going to try this time?
38.
38.
38. In what sport is Dick Button famous?
Skater.
Skater is right.
You now have $77.
Now, here's your third question. You have $77? How much you going to bet? Your 7 looks like a 9.
That's the way, right.
76.
hope you did-
76.
76?
All right. In what sport is Luke Easter famous?
Baseball.
Baseball is right.
You now have $153.
Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 153 you're going to try?
150.
150. In what sport is Patty Berg famous?
Golf.
Golf is right. Put it in, kid. All right.
You wound up with $303.
That's not bad. And give me my dime back.
But that means the Air Force pilot and his partner with $306. In just 1 minute, we'll get the chance at the $4,000 DeSoto
How much did
Plymouth
they beat us
question.
by?
$3.
Gee. We could use it.
That's a good 18 holes work, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a few hamburgers.
Say, Fenneman, I have something for you. It's here. It's a letter from Mr. Albert L. Mackenzie of Campbell, California.
It's addressed to me?
Of course not. It's addressed to me. What would Albert Mackenzie be writing to you about?
Oh, I don't know.
For that matter, what would he be writing to me about? Oh, I remember. It's about a used car. Here, read it, George.
Oh, gladly. Mr. Mackenzie writes, Dear Mr. Marks.
That's me.
I followed your advice, went into a DeSoto Plymouth dealer and told them Groucho sent me. Well, I purchased a used car. It was fairly priced, and I'm very happy with it. I received a very satisfactory allowance on my old car. The dealer was courteous and very efficient, and had that rare gift of making me feel at home and welcome. The deal was somehow lifted out of the realm of a mere business transaction where you simply got what you paid for and placed on an entirely different plane. It was a novel and pleasing experience. I thought you might be interested in hearing. It's signed, yours very truly, Albert L. Mackenzie. Well, friends, I'm sure you'd like that kind of treatment, too. And if you're interested in a used car, visit a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. DeSoto Plymouth dealers, you know, have many makes and models to choose from, and in all price ranges.
And remember, George, some of the cars at DeSoto's and Plymouth's the dealer has serviced from the day they were brand new.
That's right. For top values in used cars, for a fair and square deal every time, go to a DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
And when you do, tell them Groucho sent you.
Here's the Air Force pilot and his partner, Groucho. The winning couple all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $4,000 question.
Well, you can quit the gym, and you can quit... no, you can't quit the gym. All you got to do is... All right, here we go for $4,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully, and please no help in the audience. Here it is. There is a small island in the Mediterranean that has served as a penal colony since 1874. Its name was made famous by Edmond Dantes, hero of a great novel by Dumas. For $4,000, what is the name of this island? Talk it over. One answer between you. What is the answer you two have decided upon?
Sicily.
Oh, I'm sorry. There it is. Monte Cristo. That's the correct answer, Monte Cristo. So that means the big question next week will be worth $4,500. Well, you lost the big money, but how much did they win the quiz?
$306 in the quiz.
Well, it's not too bad. Congratulations, and thanks to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $4,500. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, see the DeSoto Fire Domain tomorrow.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Cross town or cross country, slow down for blind intersections and be prepared to stop. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith, music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast. Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is spoon. S-P-O-O-N.
Really?
You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
I thought he was all washed up. Oh, that's me. Well, here I am again with $4,500 for one of our couples.
We invited some school teachers to the program tonight, and just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Mrs. Marion Helber. Her partner is a schoolboy, Mr. Melvin Leon Hunt. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you use every day. Miss Marion Helber, huh?
That's right, Mrs.
Mrs.
yes.
Mrs. Marion Helber and Mr. Leon Hunt.
That's right.
Mrs. Helber, where are you from?
I was born in Waterloo, Iowa.
Where?
In Waterloo, Iowa.
Oh, I used to play in Waterloo.
Did you?
They have a bridge there connecting the two
That's
different
right,
parts
they
of the
do.
town. Yeah.
And they quarrel about the east and west side of the river?
I
which is
just
better
quarreled
than two?
about the bridge. I didn't quarrel about it. When they froze to death once.
That's right. Very cold place.
I don't blame you for leaving Waterloo. It's a lovely town, and the DeSoto Plymouth dealer in that town is really a fine fellow. I know him very well.
They're all fine
He
people.
lives on the bridge. You know. Now, Mrs. your mother's Helber. Are you mother's little Helber?
Oh, no, it's Helber, B.
Oh, I see. I don't see very well. You'll have to forgive me. Now, I realize it's gauche to ask a woman her age, so I'll be subtle about it. How old are you?
Well, I'll just be just as subtle. I'm 61.
Well, you don't look it.
Thank you.
I thought you were about
I don't
48.
feel it. Thank you.
Melvin Leon Hunt, huh? How old are you? I guess you'd be around 45, wouldn't you?
11.
11? Well, you don't look a day over 30. Are you sure you're 11?
11 3/4.
That's better. When I ask a question around here, I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Except during election year. Now, you're a school teacher, huh, Mrs. Helber?
I am.
Uh-huh. What grade are you in?
4th.
Really? Why, Melvin's only 11 3/4, and look where he is. Melvin, where are you?
B7.
B7? Sounds like a vitamin. How long have you been teaching school?
I'm on my 41st year.
Really?
That's right.
You certainly must be sick of apples by this time. Huh? What about you, Melvin? Have you got a girlfriend?
Well,
Now, quit beating around the bush, Melvin. What's her name?
Cheryl.
That's a pretty name. How does she spell it?
Don't ask me.
Well, who do you want me to ask? Mrs. Helber?
Yeah.
Could you describe this girl, since you don't know how to spell her name? What does she look like?
Well, she's kind of tall and skinny, and she's got she's blonde.
How much taller than you is she? A foot?
No.
Do you contemplate matrimony with this charmer?
What do you mean?
Do you ultimately plan on being betrothed?
No.
Now, what did I say that time?
A dictionary round?
Do you have any hobbies, Melvin?
Well, I have stamp collecting and I like archaeology.
What is that? What's archaeology?
Well, it's studying ancient ruins.
You're not being personal now, are you?
Well, if insinuating is what you mean, no.
Mrs. Helber, what does insinuating mean? Well, I've enjoyed this little chat, and Melvin, you're a fine boy, and we expect great things of you someday, but not in school. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $4,500 question. Right now, I'd like everyone to listen to this.
America's most spectacular new car. That's what everybody is saying about the new 160 horsepower DeSoto Fire Dome 8. Tomorrow, get acquainted with all of DeSoto's great features. that mighty 160 horsepower Fire Dome V8 engine, and full power steering. With power steering, you can actually turn the wheels with one finger, even when the car is at a standstill. Why, parking is as easy as dialing a phone. But DeSoto brings you not just power steering, but full power steering. That means easier, safer driving for you on all kinds of roads, under all conditions, all the time, not just some of the time. And listen to this. DeSoto's full power steering requires not the usual 5 1/2, but only 3 1/2 revolutions of the steering wheel to turn the wheels from one extreme to the other. Think of how much faster and easier it is to turn corners and to park. Remember all these DeSoto advantages before you buy any car that claims to offer you power steering. Only the DeSoto type of power steering is full power steering. So stop in at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers tomorrow and get behind the wheel of the spectacular new DeSoto Fire Dome 8. Also see and drive the DeSoto PowerMaster 6, available in custom and deluxe models. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth, the low-priced car most like high-priced cars. So no matter what price range you may have in mind, you'll find the car you want at a DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
All right, now let's see how you work together as a team. George, explain the rules, huh?
You bet as much of your $20 as you want on each of 4 questions.
We call him Fire Dome. Fire Dome Fenneman.
You bet as much of your $20 as you want on each of 4 questions, and the couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $4,500 DeSoto Plymouth question later in the show.
Yeah, here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected mountains and lakes of the world. Here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you risk?
19.
19. Where is Fujiyama?
Japan.
Japan is right.
You're on your way. You have $39.
Now remember, you're going for $4,500 tonight. How much of the $39 you're going to try?
38.
All right. In what country is Lake Louise?
Canada.
Canada is right.
You now have $77.
76.
All right. Where is Mount Popocatépetl? Popocatépetl.
Mexico.
Mexico is right.
Now you've climbed to $153.
And they say school teachers are underpaid. All right, here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the swag are you going to go for?
150.
Oh,
150.
152. Come on.
152.
52.
Sure.
Where is Mauna Loa?
It's in Hawaiian Island.
Hawaiian Islands is right. Look at that.
And you wind up with $305.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Groucho, we have a housewife and a bus driver for you now. They volunteered just before we went on the air. Mr. Irving Maddox and Mrs. May St. Onge. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you use every day. Mrs. May St. Onge and Mr. Maddox. Right?
Right.
Mr. Maddox, where are you from?
Lexington, Missouri.
Isn't that where the Minutemen fought the British?
No.
You're pretty safe in saying that, huh? Yes. And Mrs. St. Onge. It sounds like a frozen drink.
Oh, no.
I'll just call you May. That's your first name, isn't
They
it?
call me Grandma May because I have 15 grandchildren. And all the children in the neighborhood call me Grandma May. So you can call me Grandma May.
Okay, where are you from, Grandma?
Superior, Wisconsin. And we have the largest ore docks in the world there. And we
You
also
have the largest what?
ore docks. They ship ore to and take it down the lakes.
Oh, ore docks.
Ore docks. And then we have a new pipeline
I
there,
thought
too.
you were talking about cattle.
No.
Well, how is your ore docks, Grandma?
Oh, they're just fine. We ship more tonnage there than any other port in the world.
Well, I'm delighted.
We
that
have a
you-
new pipeline there, too.
You have,
But that
haven't
makes the city smell. We don't
Yeah,
really
yes,
like
it
It's bringing in the money, but we really don't like that
No.
smell.
It
You can't
smells
help
too
it.
rich, huh?
When the money comes, you can't help it. It smells good.
This is a walking phonograph needle. How long? I'm afraid to ask her another question.
I'll talk to
It may
you.
take about 20 minutes, the next question. How long have you been living in California, May?
Oh, we're only tourists. I tell you
Only
what,
tourists?
We're just touring.
We're all tourists in California.
It's so cold at home that we come out here to get the warm weather.
Well, doesn't the Orthodox keep you warm in the winter?
Oh, no, they even close up in the winter. It freezes up there.
Is that
It gets
so?
as low, cold as 40 below, and it costs so much to heat that we can almost live out here for what it just keep us warm up there. We rented our house and let other people freeze and then
That's a good idea. Huh?
And I love it out here.
And what, Mrs. St. Ange, that's a curious name. Where did you get it?
My husband. He's nice, too.
Is your husband a saint?
Oh, no, he likes to take a drink and chew snuff. He's got beautiful white hair, though. Oh, a lot of white hair.
He chews snuff, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
How did you meet this snuff chewer?
Well, I was running he's not a snuff chewer, just once in a while. You know.
Just
no,
during
I
the
was,
day, huh?
I was running an old lady's home, and he came there to paint.
Just a moment.
The walls and ceilings, you know.
You were running an old lady's home?
And he came there to paint.
And he came there to paint?
Mm-hmm.
There were men in this place, too?
Yes, I had 6 men. Because you have to have a man around the house to keep the old ladies contented, you know. They cook for them and they spoil them. You know, you have to have a man around the house to be happy.
How old were these men?
Around over 80. But some of them were pretty peppy.
Did you have a good ball club there?
Oh, no, I'm not interested in ball clubs. I used to play
Now,
cards.
why did you
and
have
Chinese
these men
too.
there for? I don't understand.
Well, they used to run errands for the ladies. They used to
They
go
used
to
to
the...
run errands?
Oh, yeah, sure. Some of them could run. They
This
used
is
to
the
go
only
to
place
the
where they ever
store.
walked errands. Well, it's been very interesting talking to you two, especially you, Mr. Maddox.
What chance does a man have? They're just nice to have around the house.
And yes, they are.
They are. They're nice to have around the house.
May, if you really want to see the country, get yourself a new DeSoto Fire Dome 8.
My sister-in-law up in British Columbia had some new DeSoto, and it's a wonderful.
Now, you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $4,500 question.
The school teacher and the schoolboy won $305, and the secret word is spoon.
All right, here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected locations of United States cities beginning with forts and saints as your category. Here's your first question. How much will you bet? You have $20.
Bet 19.
$19.
Or 1980. Let's bet it all. 1980.
Oh.
1980.
All right, and what state is the city of St. Paul?
Oh, Minnesota.
Minnesota is right.
That's a capital.
Well, you're on your way. You have $39.80.
Remember, you're going for $4,500
You're a
tonight.
good scout.
How much of the $39? How much of the $39.80 are you going to bet this time?
39. That'll leave us 80
$39.
cents.
All right, and what state is the city of Fort Wayne?
Indiana.
Indiana. You now have $78.80. How much of this are you going to bet?
78.
In what state is the city of St. Joseph? This city was
Missouri.
Missouri is right.
You now have $156.80.
How much are you going to bet?
156. Okay.
156. In what state is the city of Fort Worth?
Oh, Texas.
Texas is right. You're real good. You're real sharp.
You wind up with $312.80.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
We have an engaged couple for you now, Groucho. They're very special guests. I think after you've talked to them for a while, you'll find out why I invited them to be on the show tonight. So let's meet them. Miss Rose Aranda and Sergeant Joseph Rodriguez. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and you'll win $100. It's a common word, something you use every day. Pretty cute couple, huh? Let's see, you're engaged and you're very special, eh? Well, I don't know about Joe, but Rose, obviously, you're not the last rose of summer. You look real special. Sergeant Joseph Rodriguez, huh?
That's right.
Where are you from, Joe?
San Bernardino.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
23, eh? You're kind of mild-looking to be a tough Army sergeant. Where are you stationed?
The ORC headquarters in San Bernardino.
What is that? Is that OXOR? What does ORC stand for?
No, that's the Organized Reserve Corps School there in San Bernardino.
Oh, you're in the reserve, eh?
No, I'm on the administrative staff. I do a little stencil cutting, typing, topographical map work, and so on.
Oh, pretty cushy job you got there, Joe. Where are you working, Rose? Anywhere?
I'm a key punch operator at Norton Air Force Base.
How did you meet the sergeant here?
Well, he belonged to the YMCA, and his wife, extended an invitation to our club.
Well, why did his wife extend an invitation?
Well, they were going on a snow party.
Well, what's a snow party? Is that when nobody shows up? You know, the guy says snow party, nobody shows up.
No, it's you go tobogganing and you have lots of fun in the snow.
Oh. What kind of club did you belong to?
Oh, it was a social club. It had no name or purpose.
No purpose, eh? I bet by now every girl in that club is married to some member of the YMCA. Rose, how did you feel about Joe after the first date?
I was a little nervous. On the way back, we stopped at a coffee shop, and we ordered some coffee, and I poured about 10 spoons of sugar in my cup of coffee.
Wait a minute. You said spoon, that's the secret word, so you and your boyfriend over here each win $50.
Thank you.
Now, what did you say? You poured, 10 spoons full of sugar in your...
Cup of coffee, yes.
Why did you,
Well, I was
did
so
you have a
nervous.
lump in your throat, or...
No, I was so nervous I just kept pouring it on.
Joe, was that true? She was pouring it on?
Pouring the sugar in a cup of coffee.
Oh,
yes.
I see. Joe, after you're married, who's going to be the boss?
Well, I believe in every family there should be a first sergeant to run the company.
You may be the first sergeant, but the company commander is going to be a Rose. And in a pretty nice vase, too. Now, Joe, Fenneman says you two are special guests. Why is that? Is it because you're an Army sergeant?
No, I don't believe so.
There's nothing special about an Army sergeant unless you happen to be a private. George Fenneman, come in here. You told me there was something special about this couple. What is it? Obviously, they're not going to tell me.
Well, Groucho, Sergeant Rodriguez has been awarded the nation's highest military decoration, the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Yeah. Well, I don't have to tell you, Sergeant, how honored we are to have you here with us tonight.
And Groucho, the Army Major that
But I will tell you, we are honored to have you here.
Thank you.
The Army...
Keep out of this, Fenneman.
The Army Major, Groucho, that first told me about Joe, gave me this citation which explains exactly what he did.
Would you like to hear this? Sergeant Joseph C. Rodriguez, then Private First Class, was participating in an attack against a fanatical hostile force occupying well-fortified positions on rugged commanding terrain near Munyeri, Korea, on the 21st of May, 1951, when his squad's advance was halted by a withering barrage of automatic weapons from 5 emplacements, together with grenades, which the enemy rolled down the hill toward the advancing troops. Fully aware of the odds against him, Sergeant Rodriguez leaped to his feet, dashed 60 yards up the fire-swept slope, and after lobbing grenades into the first foxhole, ran around the left flank, silenced an automatic weapon with 2 grenades, and continued his whirlwind assault to the top of the peak, wiping out 2 more foxholes, and then, reaching the right flank, he tossed grenades into the remaining emplacement, destroying the gun and annihilating its crew. As a result of his incredible display of valor, the defense of the opposition was broken, the enemy routed, and the strategic stronghold secured. Well, give me that again. Now give him a good kick. If you don't win any money here tonight, it won't be my fault, Sergeant. Well, Joe, that's the most amazing thing I ever heard of. You're just the new Sergeant York, aren't you? There's just one thing I'd like to know. When you were running through all that lead, what were you thinking about?
Well, I wasn't thinking. I was just mad, I guess.
You wiped out a whole army just because you got mad? Joe, if I said anything tonight here that you If I said anything that you resent, I was just being facetious, Joe. What are your plans for the future, Joe?
Well, I hope to make a career in the Army.
Well, I'm sure glad you're on our side. And Rose, take good care of this fella, and my advice is don't ever make him mad. He's liable to wipe out Los Angeles. Well, you're a fine couple, and I'm sure you're going to have many happy and handsome and bright and brave children. All right, now let's play You Bet Your Life. Joe, that's one game you have already played. And we're certainly happy that you won. This will probably seem pretty tame after that, but here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You have to run your $20 no more than our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $4,500 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but Mr. Fenneman is going to remind our listeners.
The housewife and the bus driver lead with $312.80.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected all-time favorites as your category. Here's your first question. How much will you bet? Decide on one answer between you. Talk up.
1980.
1980.
All right, here's your first question for 1980. Give me the title of this song. Play, Jerry. Blue Skies is right.
And you're off to a good start. You have $39.80.
You gave me a heart failure. I thought you were going to blow that. Don't ever do that again, will you? Answer it quicker, will you? I can't stand the suspense. Remember, you're going for $4,000. I'm trying not to be partial here, but remember, you're going for $4,500 tonight. Now, let's see if you can identify this one. How much you going to bet? You have $39.80. You see, if I say instead of Fenneman, we can cut his salary.
$39.50.
All right, here we go. Play it, Jerry. Started. That's right. Answer him right away, huh?
Really climbing. You have $79.30.
Here's your third question. How much of the $79.30 you're going to try?
$79.20.
$79.20.
That old Black Magic?
Black Magic is right.
You have now climbed to $158.50.
Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the $158.50 you going to play?
Last chance?
Last chance.
Shoot the words. Shoot the words. Shoot the words.
Are you more scared now than you are going over the
You
top
bet.
hill? Well, here we go. Play it, Jerry.
3 for 2.
3 for 2 is right. Good kick.
And here's the news. You wind up with $317, and that means that you, too, get the chance of the DeSoto Plymouth $4,500 question.
We try to be impartial on the show, but I must say that I was a little prejudiced.
Ever hear somebody say, well, all my car needs is a lubrication job. I suppose I can have that done almost anywhere. Well, it's true. You can get a lubrication job almost anywhere. But to get it done right, take it to a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Here's where you get thorough lubrication to factory specifications. Yet it costs you no more than ordinary lubrication. Imagine During the life of your car, about 19 grades and kinds of lubricants are used in approximately 54 vital points. Isn't it wise, then, to have experts who know your car do a complete lubrication job, eliminating all guesswork, and thus giving your car added miles of protection? Tomorrow, stop in and tell your DeSoto Plymouth dealer you want a complete lubrication job. See him for any type of service your car may need. His price is reasonable, his service is prompt, and you'll get courteous treatment, too. Just look for the familiar sign of better service, the friendly sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. And here's the sergeant and his fiancée, Groucho, the winning couple, all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $4,500 question.
All right, well, I can't help you with this, Joe. You're on your own now. You're out in the middle of no man's land. Here we go for $4,500. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully, and please no help from the audience. And I give you this admonition. If you don't know the answer, take a stab at it and guess something anyhow. During World War II, Hitler and Mussolini had numerous meetings in a historic pass through the Alps. For $4,500, what is the name of this mountain pass that connects Italy and Austria? Now talk it over. All right, what's the answer you kids have decided upon?
I like them come out with is Birch's Garden, but that's a place where they were at.
I'm sorry. The correct answer is Brenner Pass.
No.
So that means the big question next week will be worth $5,000. Well, you lost the big money, but did pretty well in the quiz. How much did they win, Joe?
They did $317 in the quiz.
And the secret word?
Yeah, I had the secret word, too.
That gives them a total of $417. Well, it's not. That's a good night's work. Congratulations. And thanks to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Thank you.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $5,000. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, see the DeSoto fire don't make tomorrow.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Road signs are signs of life. Be sure you heed them. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith, music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast. Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is door. D-O-O-R.
Oh, Fenneman can spell. Really?
You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
You can do better than that. Oh, that's me. Well, here I am again with $5,000 tonight.
Groucho, just before we went on the air, we selected a housewife and a man with an interesting background from our audience, and here they are, Mrs. Maxine Brown and Mr. Salvador Vara, come in and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Let's see, Mrs. Maxine Brown and Mr. Salvador Vara. Mrs. Brown, where are you from?
I'm from Dongan Hills, Staten Island.
Dongan Hills, huh? Someone out there from Nova Scotia, I think. Probably a salmon. How long you been out here, Mrs. Brown?
14 years.
That's an odd name, isn't it, Mrs. Brown? Huh? Salvador Vara? Oh, I'm Vara. Happy to meet you, Mr. Vara. What did you say your name was?
Salvador Vara.
You have a very charming accent. Where is your home, Salvador?
In Pasadena.
South Pasadena, I presume. Huh? Were you born near the Rose Bowl in Pasadena?
No, Mr. Mark, I was born in San Sebastian in Spain.
Where?
San Sebastian in Spain.
Oh, well, that's not far from the Rose Bowl. That's where the 50-cent seats are. And I know. Salvador, are you married?
No, I'm not married.
You know, how old are you?
I will be 40 years of age next October 12.
October 12th, huh? That's Columbus Day, huh?
Columbus Day,
Oh.
correct.
How is it you're not married? Don't you care for the girls?
Why, yes, I just love women.
I see. And you want to keep on loving them, is that
There's no that. I've never found my correct one, like many troubles we have men, to find the correct one.
Well, how are things around the Casbah? Or around any bar while we're at it. Now, do you have any activities besides housewifing, Mrs. B?
Oh, yes. I'm very active in PTA. I'm a den mother. I have 2 boys. And mainly, I'm a Beta Toastmasters member.
What do you do, bait toast for fishing?
No, Mr. Marks, it's a club to improve women so that they can speak and go out and make public speeches, improve their poise, and give them a...
Well, how many poise do you have? 2, huh?
I have 2 poise.
Well, what are some of the activities of your outfit?
Well, we furnish speakers mainly for charitable organizations. We do a lot of good in this way. We have one member who gave 150 speeches for the Red Cross last year. We furnish speakers for any organization that asks us. Beta never says no.
Well, that's a nice thing to know. Would you be interested in an elderly hypochondriac? Well, Thermidor, let's find out some more about you. Huh? Mr. Fenneman says you have an interesting background. Just what have you done? Outside of Pasadena, I mean. And Glendale.
Well, I have been mail carrier pilot in Mexico City.
Mail pilot?
Mail pilot, yeah. Oh. Flying from Mexico City to Tampico, Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I have been a pearl diver.
Pearl diver?
In the Gulf of California and La Paz. And I have been a bullfighter. Professional bullfighter for 6 years. And
is that so? Oh, bully for you. How many bulls have you met in your career?
Well, we'll say just close to 200 bulls.
200 bulls?
Yeah, 200 bulls.
You must be the envy of every cow in Mexico. Well, I'd like to go on talking to you two, but the time is running out. I have to be in Chicago in July. So, just 1 minute. You're going to play You Bet Your Life. You bet you for a chance at $5,000. Right now, I want you to pay close attention to this.
Friends, you don't know what you're missing if you haven't had a ride in the new, spectacular DeSoto Fire Dome 8. From its beautiful and functional new air vent hood, way back to its shiny new tail light, DeSoto is really the talk of the nation. When you get behind the wheel and feel the smooth power and instant acceleration from that 160 horsepower Fire Dome V8 engine, you'll know the real meaning of power. And if you're like most people, if you're tired of struggling with that wheel as you squeeze into tight parking spaces, then you'll get a real thrill out of DeSoto's full power steering. That's right, full power steering. Not partial, but full power steering that takes all the effort out of turning the wheels. Whether you want to back into a parking space using just one finger, or whether you're out on the open road, DeSoto's full power steering always responds the same. Always makes your driving easier and safer. So don't put off this great experience any longer. Go into your DeSoto Plymouth dealers tomorrow and take a ride in the mighty 160 horsepower DeSoto Fire Dome 8. Also see and drive the DeSoto Power Master 6, available in custom and deluxe models. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth, the low-priced car most like high-priced cars. So no matter what price range you may have in mind, you'll find the car you want at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
All right, now let's see how you work together as a team. George, would you explain the rules to Mr. and Mrs. Bullfighter?
All right, you bet as much of your $20 as you want on each of 4 questions. And the couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $5,000 DeSoto Plymouth question later on in the show.
All right, here we go. Let's see how I can build you $20. You selected what's the number? The following are associated with familiar titles and phrases. Now, how much you going to bet?
1950.
All right, let's see if you can name the numbers. How many thieves opposed Alabama?
40.
40 is right.
And you have $39.50.
Remember, you're going for $5,000 tonight. How much of your $39.50 you going to risk?
39.
39.
39. How many horsemen of the apocalypse?
4.
4 is correct.
You now have $78.50.
Here's your third question. How much of the money are you going to bet?
$78.
$78.
$78.
How many blackbirds baked in a pie?
4 and 20.
4 and 20.
Really climbing, you have $156.50.
Mrs. Brown is no schmo. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. You're going to bet how much?
156.
156?
50.
50.
156? All of it.
All of it.
All of it.
156.50.
That's it.
How many fiddlers did Old King Cole call for?
3.
3 is right.
And you wind up with $313.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
We have a waiter and a woman with an unusual occupation for you now, Groucho. They were chosen just before we went on the air, and here they are. Mrs. Mary Frances Starr and Mr. Woodrow Patrick. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Mrs. Mary Frances Starr. That's you,
right.
I presume, huh? And Woodrow Patrick. Mr. Patrick, you're a waiter, eh?
Yes, sir.
And Mary Frances Starr, where are you from, Mary?
Texas.
Texas, huh? Partner, when you say that, smile. Well, let's see. Who are you again?
I'm the waiter.
Oh, well, you're the waiter. Well, if you're hanging on for a tip, you're wasting your time with me. You work at where?
Moose on Frank in Hollywood, the oldest restaurant in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. I know your place has been there for many years. How does your menu compare with the one they had 30 years ago?
Well, they're serving the same food they did 30 years ago.
Well, remind me not to order eggs in your place. What are some of the specials you feature at your place?
Well, we feature sauerbraten, and goulash, and especially flannel cakes.
Flannel cakes?
What
What kind of a monstrosity are flannel cakes? Are they long flannel cakes?
No, they're like crepe Suzettes without the Suzette.
Ah, that's Suzette. She wouldn't be caught dead wearing flannels. Now, Mary Frances, Mr. Fenneman says you have an unusual occupation. Just what do you do?
Well, I'm a fight manager, a prize fight manager.
Well, and how many fighters do you manage?
I approximately have around 32 in my stable at this time.
That's pretty impressive, 32 fighters. Have you ever managed any top fighters?
Yes, I managed one of the top middleweights, my husband, Roman Starr. I managed him.
Well, naturally you were mine. Any housewife can make that claim. Did you manage your husband's entire ring career?
No, Groucho, I managed him for 5 years and then sold him for $7,500.
You're a very shrewd manager. After 5 years of marriage, that's a good price for a husband.
I thought so.
You better explain this.
Well, I sold his contract.
Well, after you sold your husband, did you ever see you saw him again after that? Huh?
Well, a year later, I bought him back for $500.
You said you depreciated a lot in 1 year. What happened then?
Well, I got him back in shape. He had gotten beaten up quite a bit, and I got him back in shape, and I sold him then for $2,750.
This is like a grocery store, husband. Well, Mary, you've got the right idea. Buy low and sell high. Now, you're going to play You Bet Your Life. Beat our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $5,000 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
The housewife and Mr. Saldor Vara won $313, and the secret word is door.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected people associated with birds and animals from our list of 20 categories. This is category number 13. Now, here's your first question. How much of the $20 you're going to bet?
I think $19.50.
What kind of an animal do you associate with Mrs. O'Leary?
Cow.
A cow is right.
Off to a good start. You have $39.50.
That would have been a cinch for the bullfighter. Remember, you're going for $5,000 tonight. Now, how much of the $39.50 are you going to try?
39.
Okay.
All right. What kind of a bird do you associate with Edgar Allan Poe?
The raven.
The raven is right.
You now have $78.50.
And here's your third question. How much of this money are you going to try?
78.
Okay. I'll take a chance.
What kind of an animal do you associate with Old Mother Hubbard?
A dog.
A dog is right. You doggone right.
You've now climbed to $156.50.
And here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much are you going to bet?
156.
Okay.
All right. What kind of an animal do you associate with Goldilocks?
Ooh. I mean a bear.
Bear.
I'm sorry.
Well, what do you decide on?
Bear.
A bear is right. Put it down. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
And you wind up with $312.50. Groucho, we have a grandmother and a young bride chosen from our audience. Mrs. Charlene Lamb and Mrs. Jane Kerr. Meet Groucho Marx.
Well, howdy doody. Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and you'll win $100. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Mrs. Charlene Lamb and Mrs. Jane Kerr. One of you is a grandmother, eh? Now, don't tell me. Let me guess which is which. Charlene, how old are you?
18.
18. I'm still not sure. Mrs. Kerr, what's your age?
70.
70. Well, I'll bet my bottom dollar you're the grandmother. Huh?
Great-grandmother.
Well, I'll bet the top dollar then. Huh? Where are you from, Charlene?
New Orleans, Louisiana.
New Orleans, eh?
Yes.
Where are you from, Jane? Do you mind if I call you Jane? Where are you from?
Ohio. High in the middle and round at both ends.
Now, I'm not concerned with your shape. I want to know where you're from. Jane, you're certainly a youthful 70. How come you're so hale and hearty at your age?
I don't drink. I don't smoke. But I belong to a long-levity family. My grandfather lived to be a good old age. But he drank and he smoked.
At what age did tobacco and alcohol catch up with him?
107.
Shows you what bad habits will do to a man. Why don't you drink or smoke, Jane?
Never cared for it.
That's an excellent reason. Now, Charlene, you're the young bride, I presume. How long have you been married?
5 months, 12 days, and 1 hour.
What time do you go through Lompoc? How old is your husband?
He's 20 and 8 months old.
You've only been married 5 months, and you know his exact age already, huh?
Yes, sir.
Charlene, you've been reading his insurance policy. What does your husband do?
He's a stock clerk.
Well, that sounds like an important job. Do you suppose he could give me a tip on the market?
No, he's a stock clerk at Ralph's grocery store.
He can still give me a tip on the market. All he has to do is let me know when the manager isn't looking. How did you meet your husband?
Well, Dick and I, we've lived in the same neighborhood
Is that his
practically all
name,
our
Dick?
life. Yes, Dick.
What do you call him, Dickie?
Dickie. And we lived right around the corner from each other, and we went to the same grammar school and church and junior high, but he never noticed me until May 26, 1948, and it was it was the day of our A9 tea at Bancroft.
Day of your what?
A9 senior tea at Bancroft when we graduate. And May 26th, I went shopping up at Ralph's with my mother, you know, and he was working there then.
Did you know he was working there then?
Oh, I had an idea he was. And I was all dressed up in heels, and so he finally noticed me. And then I kept going in there a couple times a week and got to know my name.
Yeah, it pays to advertise. Did you have the phone number on the back of the little blouse?
No. And then June 19, 1948, as the day after we graduated, he called about 6 o'clock and I know if he could come over, and I asked my mother, and she said yes. So not a minute after I hung up, he was at the door. See, all he had to do was jump over the back fence.
Wait a minute, you said door. And that's the secret word. Oh, yeah. You said door, that's the secret word, and you and Grandma over here are each $50 richer.
Oh, God.
Well, I don't understand this. He phoned you and you opened the door and he was standing out there?
See, he just
He
had
had
to
a
jump
portable
over.
phone, huh?
He just had to jump over the back fence, run across the street, and he was there.
Oh, and when was this?
This was June 19, 1948. And then on June 22nd, Tuesday, he
You mean
called.
he stayed 3 days? In the grocery store while this was going on.
I didn't have to go up as much then.
Oh.
And then he called and he wanted to know if I'd go out, so my mother said yes. So he picked me up about 4 o'clock in the
Why did
afternoon.
you have to go out when you were spending so much time together in the grocery store?
Oh, well. And
I see.
And then we,
Now, when did you finally get serious with this fellow?
August 29th, 1948.
At 20 minutes past 11, you said. What did he do? What did he say?
He kissed
What
me
happened?
in front of the house.
What's that?
He kissed me in front of the house.
He kissed you in front of the house? Fine place to kiss a pretty girl. Is that all there is to it?
No, then he turned around and ran across the street and stumbled over the back fence.
You couldn't have given him much of a kiss. If that kiss had packed any wallop at all, he'd have walked right through the fence. Well, after he fled from you, is that when you started going steady?
No, we didn't go stay till October 5th, 1948.
The only calendar I ever saw with high heels. You say October 5th, 1948, you started going steady, huh?
Yes.
You don't remember what time this was, huh?
8 o'clock.
Well, I remember that fateful day. It was a Thursday, wasn't it?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Well, what happened on this Black Tuesday? How did you know you were going steady? Was he reeling back from this kiss?
He gave me his track shoe to wear around my neck.
He gave you his track shoes to wear around your neck?
Just one.
Was his foot in it, or had he removed it?
No, it was his little gold track shoe on a chain that he got for being on the track team.
What did your husband do on the track team?
He was the best pole vaulter at Hollywood High School.
He was, huh?
Yeah.
He should have been. He got plenty of practice jumping that fence. Mrs. Carr, what do you think of a couple as young as Charlene and her husband getting married these days?
I think it's all right if the children have responsibilities at 12 and 14. I believe in the young marriage. But I believe that if men would marry when they're 27 and women were between 23 and 25, they have good common sense and there'd be less divorces.
Now, how did you arrive at that figure of 27 as the ideal age for matrimony?
Well, I've known many people that married at that age, and they were very happy for years and years and years.
Well, I think you sneaked out of that question pretty well. Could you give Charlene here any specific advice about matrimony? You seem to be an authority on the subject.
Stop. Think. Save your angry words, my dear.
That's good advice. If you stop and think, you can come up with a lot better insults. Well, I've kidded you both, but you mustn't take me seriously, because right now I'm going to give you a chance to make some real money. When I say real money, I'm not fooling tonight. Now you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $5,000 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
The housewife and Salvador Vara still lead with $313.
All right, here we go. Let's see how high I can bill you $20. You selected drinking songs as your category. Here's your first question. How much of the 20 are you going to bet?
How much do you bet? How much?
1975.
19?
75.
19.
19.
19. All right. Give me the title of this drinking song. Play, Jerry. What is it? Sweet Adeline is right. Sing it right on. All right, now you got $39. How much are you going to try this time? Remember, you're going for $5,000 tonight.
$38.99.
$38.99. Is that all right with you, Grandma?
Oh, it's all right with me.
Oh, there's nothing.
$38.99. Play it, Jerry. Talk up, kids. Talk it over.
I know it.
I do know it, and I can't do it.
Oh, the shine or something.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, too. There's a tavern in the town.
Oh, golly, yeah.
It was so easy, you just stumbled right over it.
I know.
Well, don't give up now. You still have a cent left.
Oh, the devil.
All right, you're going to bet the whole thing? Well, talk it over now. I don't want to... All right, everything, huh? Play it, Jerry. She can sing it, but she doesn't have She doesn't care. She's happy singing.
I know it.
Well, it's the Whippin' song. Yeah. Rudy Valley's been singing it for 30 years.
They're broke, Groucho.
They're broke. Nobody leaves here broke. Give me that card. We're going to give you a chance to win $25. What color is an orange?
Yellow.
Now talk it over. What color is an orange?
She was only joking.
What is it?
Orange?
Oh, this is right.
Well, Groucho, this couple went broke.
You were fine.
So that means that Salvador Vara and his partner, the housewife, with $313 in just 1 minute, get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $5,000 question. Here's a good tip for all of us car owners to keep in mind as we look forward to another busy season of summer driving. Make safe driving a habit. Check your car. Check accidents. Tomorrow is the first day of Vehicle Maintenance Month, and there's no better place to take your car for a safety inspection than a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Here, highly skilled mechanics trained in factory methods will see to it that your car gets a complete safety checkup. Brakes, headlights, wheels, tires, steering, windshield wipers, glass, horn, muffler, and exhaust. They'll see that everything is done to make your car safe and sound for the thousands of happy miles of driving ahead of you. And you'll be pleasantly surprised when you find out how little this costs. Remember, make safe driving a habit. Check your car. Check accidents. Drive in where you'll see the familiar sign of better service, the friendly sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. And here's Salvador Vara and his partner, the housewife, all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $5,000 question, Groucho.
Well, Salvador, you're a bullfighter, but you're now on the horns of the dilemma. Here we go for $5,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully and please no help from the customers. You ready? Paul Bunyan, the legendary character of American folklore, had a huge blue ox for a pet. And together they performed tremendous feats of strength. For $5,000, tell me the name of Paul Bunyan's ox. What is the answer you two have decided upon?
Blue Boy. It's just the...
No, I'm sorry. The correct answer is Babe. So that means the big question next week will be worth $5,500. Well, you lost the big money, but how much did they win in the quiz, George?
$313 in the quiz.
Well, that's not too bad. Congratulations, and thanks to both of you, and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $5,500. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember... See DeSoto Fire Dome 8 tomorrow.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Make safe driving a habit. Check your car. Check accidents. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell. Directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.